Morning, gorgeous. It is lovely to be with you today. It's always lovely to be with you. Never think that I take you for granted. I so appreciate being with you. And here we are, and I'm sure you can hear the crickets. I love that sound. This is just the best sound for me. Lovely to see you, Alicia, Sonjia, Marianne. It's lovely to see you. Sometimes I can figure out who you are from your little dots that show up, and sometimes I just have to guess. It's lovely to be here with you. And yeah, we miss each other, right? But I'm grateful I get to be here every day, one way or another. I was just late because we were in the Heartfield. Oh my God, what an amazing, wonderful, incredible, awesome group of people. And you know what? It was awesome to be creating and to completely forget about everything else for most of 2.5 hours. Freaking amazing. And before that, I spent time in the field and I forgot about everything for 42 minutes. That was awesome. So I'm very grateful to be here. And of course, I got to stop whittering on and show you the flowers. Good heavens. Here they are. This is the show. These are the autumn crocus, the colchium. They'll be coming up en masse. I mean, they are coming up en masse. I'll keep going for a little while. So, there's the whole bed. And if we get up close, you can see that beautiful kind of, we need a focus to come here. There we go, that beautiful checkerboard design on the petals. I'll do my best to hold the camera still because it needs decent resolution. Morning, Timothy. Morning, Linda. It's lovely to see you. Morning, evening, afternoon. Julian, hello. So we're just enjoying these because they come up, they're like fireworks. They come up, they bloom, and then they disappear. I'm trying to get, there we go. The camera's sorted itself out. Steph, it's lovely to see you. And here are the Japanese anemones, which, there's such abundance. They smother things, but they fill the space too. So, is it a weed or is it a blessing? It's a bit of both, but it's so pretty. And it's lovely to be out here and hear the breeze and notice the sunshine and enjoy the sound of the crickets, which I really savour. And today, everybody is actually terribly aware of how am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing now? How am I doing now? In answer to your question, Timothy, I'm very well. And at a time like this, I am really conscious that the most useful thing I can do is teach you practical stuff you can use. And one of the things that you've probably heard me rabbiting on about is the fact that if we can move ourselves into an elevated state of emotion, which is not fake it till you make it. Kristen, lovely to see you. And if we can do this, ideally for 10 minutes 3 times a day, there is a direct impact upon your immunity when you do that. Sammy, it's great to see you. There is a direct impact, and I can say this because Joe Dispenza did the science, right? So, at the beginning of a 4-day advanced workshop, Rachel, good morning! And you notice how I elevate myself to saying hello to you? Okay, I got all these little tricks. You think I just do these lives for you? I do them for me, honey. So, at the beginning of the workshop, they took samples, saliva samples, I believe, from a random group of 117 participants. And then during the workshop, they... because of how the workshop works, it was 4 days, and over those 4 days, every single one of those participants elevated their emotions for at least 10 minutes 3 times a day in the course of the meditation practice that they were doing, right? But that was how they did it. Now, you can do it any way you like. And at the end of the workshop, they took another set of saliva samples from these same 117 people. And in the saliva samples, they measured levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Your adrenal glands, which are on your kidneys, release cortisol when you are stressed. And cortisol is actually the thing that you use to kind of focus and stay present and deal with stuff. Not like adrenaline. Adrenaline is what you use when you need to fight shit off. They often come together. But anyway, they measured stress hormone levels. They measured cortisol. Now, there's another marker in the body, and it's kind of protein called an immunoglobulin, which has got something to do with immunity, right? And this one that they measured is called immunoglobulin A. And immunoglobulin A is this, and I was just watching the pictures, and there is a beautiful explanation of this on my timeline. If you go and see it, you will find a video from Dr. Joe Dispenza. It is about 6 minutes and 20 seconds long. And there's a series of 5 that he's putting out. They're little short ones, and there's 3, but I put on the second one. Hi, Berna, lovely to see you, honey. But I put links to all 3. And in one of those videos, he explains this, and there are pictures, and you can see it. And immunoglobulin A is this kind of funny thing. It looks a little bit like a windmill, actually, in that it's Y-shaped, but it's got these sort of, bits like that, and one at the bottom. And they latch onto invaders and kind of smother them. At least that's what I remember from the pictures that I saw. So it's like this 3 arms of a windmill. Rick, it's great to see you. And the knitting sheet shields will do that too. Thank you, Julian. Get rid of those camels, the bumps in the internet. And they latch onto pathogens and neutralise them. Watch the videos, you'll get the full story. The point being that IgA, they measured this as well, right? Now, it's a known fact that there is an inverse relationship between levels of cortisol in the body and levels of immunoglobulin A in the body. And by inverse, I mean that if you have lots of stress hormones, immunoglobulin A, you don't have much of. And if your stress hormones go down, then immunoglobulin A goes up. That's known. So the reason why Joe decided to measure this at the beginning and the end of the workshop was to see, look, I know we're making epigenetic changes, and that's an epigenetic change, right, as to whether you've got more of one than the other. That's epigenetics in action, and it happens every moment you feel something. They were seeing people walking out of workshops, with significant physical changes, like coming in a wheelchair and leaving walking, or coming deaf and leaving hearing, or coming blind and leaving seeing. They were seeing that stuff happen. So he knew there were epigenetic changes happening in real time, but they wanted to measure them. So they started with this. They did really wild stuff later and discovered, hundreds, if not thousands of genes were upregulating and downregulating for disease and for health. Amazing stuff. But just this one. So what they discovered was, after 4 days of this practice, which they said, 10 minutes 3 times a day. Now that is in the context of doing a meditation probably 3 times a day, or practicing some kind of elevated emotion. We're going to do that later. And yes, being in a supportive environment with wonderful people and great experiences and all of that. Elaine, lovely to see you. And that's cool, but all the same, what happened was, at the end of the workshop, and they collated all the data, and on average, they found that people's IgA levels, the good thing that they want to be around to fight off invaders, it elevated 49.5%. So I rounded it up just to make it simple. 50% better on average. For some people, it was a lot higher, and for others, it was probably a bit lower. On average, 50% more IgA and a drop in cortisol. Now, whatever cortisol is supposed to be, and I can't remember, there was another interesting side effect that, or a bonus effect, not a side effect, direct effect. There's no such thing as a side effect. It's either there or it's not. You can have 2 things going on with cortisol when it's out of balance. If you're stressed, it can be high, right? But if you have been so stressed for so long that your adrenals are stuffed on the floor and you're utterly exhausted, it goes down, right? So your cortisols are down, and without cortisol, it's really hard to function, actually. So what they discovered was that the people who had really high cortisol because they had elevated stress levels, their cortisol came down to normal. But the people who were down on the floor, their cortisol came up to normal. So not only did they improve their IgA, their immunoglobulin A went up, so their immunity rose, on average 49.5%, but they normalised their stress hormones. Now this is in 4 days, which is fairly astonishing. And yes, there was an environment, and yes, they were being engaged and educated and taught how to do these things. But don't use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, I'm not there, I can't do that. Everybody can do this. It is so cool, Alicia. I love this. We think, oh, I can't change my body. You just thought that thought with a feeling of depression or hopelessness or despair. You just did. And, if you think, oh, it's Maddie, whoa, or whatever you think, you just did. So, we're going to just do this now. Because it's not about faking it until you make it. Maria, it's great to see you. It is not about faking it till you make it, because I can say, oh, I feel so excited. I feel so excited. I feel so excited. I feel so grateful. I feel so wealthy. I feel so healthy. And if I feel in my body scared shitless, Carol, Shame, it's great to see you, Charlotte, well, then my body is like, yeah, right. I can think what I like until the end of days. But unless it makes it past my brainstem to my body, I'm wasting my time. This is why affirmations never worked for me, because I never knew how to bridge the gap between my head and my heart and my body and my visceral experience. So, this is a really basic way to get past that problem, to start getting past that problem, to practice getting past that problem, right? One of the easiest things to access when life feels like crap, or you're scared, or you're angry, or you're, insert your dominant emotion in these brackets, is gratitude. And gratitude is one of the best emotions for elevating yourself, along with love and compassion and caring. I think those four have been identified as being really good for this work, right? And we all know what these feel like, even if they feel a long way away. Gratitude is the easiest one to access, because if you are alive, if you are sitting here, sitting, standing, whatever, listening to me, you have the internet, you have a functioning device that allows you to access the internet, you have eyes, you have ears, you have a body that works well enough for you to, all of that. There's rain! Yay! You have so much that you can appreciate and give thanks for. And this is where it can start off feeling really wooden and really intellectual and really, I don't feel this. And that's okay. That was the other thing I didn't understand. That it really is okay if it feels like complete shit for me to say, I'm so grateful, I have a phone in my hand and it works, and there's enough power in the battery that I can do this. Oh yay, my life is falling down. Whoa. I'm so grateful that I have a brain that I can think these thoughts. I'm so grateful I have somebody in my ear telling me that I can choose what thoughts I can think. Because you have that choice to let the chatter and the rubbish that all comes up inside all of us when we get scared, because at the bottom of all of that is fear, we get a choice whether we continue down that old, familiar, I know how to do this path, or we do something different. And you know why you resist doing something different, even though it's going to feel better? Because it's unfamiliar. We're not used to doing it. So, now, this is going to be a bit interesting, because I think Facebook has stopped showing me your comments. Hi, Rhonda! Lovely to see you! But don't let that stop us. What I would like you to do, please, is drop into the comments just something, anything, I don't care what, something that you are grateful for. I'm grateful for Kay coming online right now. Lovely to see you, honey. I'm grateful for all of you being here. We're going to drum up, create a little bit of a gratitude storm, right? Because here's another thing. When you see me being grateful, you have empathy neurons in your brain. When you see other people being grateful, you do it inside your own head. Like when you see somebody in a movie and they hit their thumb with a hammer and you go, oh, how do you think that happens? You have empathy neurons. They're called mirror neurons. And they're what link us all together emotionally and energetically, and there's a wireless connection. So, if you see me being grateful for the fact that I can stand here with you and share my flowers with you, and I have this garden, and despite the fact that, there's la, whatever going on out there, I hear the crickets, and there is sunshine, and there is a breeze. I'm so grateful for all of that. Jocelyn, I'm grateful that you're here too. Yay! I'm grateful that I have legs that work. I'm grateful that I've got hands I can wave at you. I'm grateful that I can feel the energy of life in me. I'm grateful that I can connect with that life force every day. It's such a privilege to me that I can sit down and go into the field and connect to the source, the divine observer, to myself, and unleash my own power and healing and heal my body. Oh my God, I'm so grateful I've been able to heal my body. It's crazy. I could never imagine that I could heal my body, but here I am doing it, and I've done it, and I've got more to do, and I know that I can. So keep those comments going, because I can't see them, but you're going to see them, and everyone else is going to see them. And it's really reinforcing, and together, I can feel it now, we're starting to elevate, you see. Now, this is not fake it until you make it. This is about creating the feeling through choosing where you put your attention. Oh my God, it takes off. It's like that thing that we're not talking about. It's catching. And it's a good kind of catching. And we can do this. We can infect ourselves with health. We can infect ourselves with joy. We can infect ourselves with possibility. So I'm going to go a little sideways here, and I'm so grateful that you're listening to me, not because I'm perfect and I know everything, because I screw up, okay? But because we get to share this. And I wish I could see your comments, because I'd love to reply to them directly. But, it's okay. It's all starting perfect. I'm so grateful. What was I going to say? It's gone. Whatever. Obviously, I'm not meant to go off sideways. Oh, yeah. I'm grateful that we have the ability to choose what we look at, to edit out the stuff that isn't helpful. Do you think that it's, here we are, enjoying some gratitude, celebrating life, this moment, right now, together. You're right here, aren't you? You're right here, right now, celebrating you, what you have, the ability to breathe. Oh my God, we don't take that for granted anymore, do we? There's this thing that we're not talking about not being able to breathe. Well, I'm so grateful I have this breath. Right now, I'm not starving. Right now, I have water. Right now, there's a roof over my head. I'm so grateful. Oh my God, I have so much. And you want me to go back to my feed and look at that other stuff that's about some other state of being? Why would I give up this sense of well-being and abundance and wholeness that I'm just beginning to explore, and it feels a bit weird, but it's kind of nice? Do I want to keep going down here, or do I want to go back to what I'm used to, which is, that version of, oh my God, everything's falling to shit? I'm being a bit generalised here. I know a lot of you don't do this, but some of us do. We enter an elevated state and we think, that's really nice. And you think, okay, well, that's great, but why the hell do I go back to all of that drama and all of that fear and all of that stuff? Now, remember, we talked about this yesterday. Or was it Monday? Our bodies are addicts. Now, they don't get that way overnight. We unconsciously program our bodies to be the mind for us. When you wake up in the morning and the first thing that just comes flying into your head is that old fear or the old anger or the old sorrow, whatever it is, that's your body being your mind for you. Does it without you. So here we are celebrating life and being grateful for each other and what we have. And, and there's always something you can look at that's not good. And there's always something you can look at that is good. And which we choose, if you become conscious of it, you might just start to realise exactly how much you kind of, just let me have a little bit more of that. Oh my God, that's awful. Oh my, they did, what? You did that? This leader made that choice? Oh, that's a big one. You're going to put your energy on that? You're going to make that bigger? Because really, the person that hurts the most is you. Put your energy on what you want. Mary, it's lovely to see you. And you see, this is not faking it till you make it. This is not, I feel fantastic and I'm scared shitless in my body. No. This is gently, but really persistently and very consciously choosing to elevate your emotions. And we've been sort of doing this for, at least 5 or 6 minutes. And there's a lot I could talk about, what not to do. But today, I'm just wanting to talk about and to do what to do. which is to find beauty or create beauty. You know, I'm so grateful I get to go outside my house and share this with you. I'm so grateful that, you know, I'm not in shutdown. I am working as hard as ever because what I'm doing I can do from home. I am not on holiday. I do not have time to do extra meditations. I do not have time to do all the stuff in my garden that needs to do. I could focus on that and feel pissed off. I'm just so grateful that my life is so independent that it carries on, almost unaltered. You know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Shower yourself in gratitude. Focus on what is good in your life. And if you're stuck inside and you think everything's ugly, make some beauty. Make some beauty. Find some way to focus on something good. We have a choice. It's so powerful. And every time you choose it, moment to moment, every time you choose to focus on what you want, what you love, what elevates you, what you can be grateful for, you just overcame your body as the mind in some way. Every time you don't go down that familiar path of, oh, life sucks, you know, whatever. And you say, no, life does not suck. I am breathing in and out. I have legs that work. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I have legs that work. Oh my God, I have shoes to put on my feet. Do you know how many people around the world that would just love to have shoes? There is so much we take for granted. Celebrate, appreciate, grateful for what we have. And as you keep doing that, every time you choose to do that, instead of going back into lack, you are choosing abundance. You're choosing who you're going to be, and you are changing your body epigenetically, and you are changing your brain in real time. This is how powerful we are, and this is our job right now more than anything, is to decide who we are. When I say decide who we are, this is practically what I mean. Many ways to do it, but this is one that you can do walking around. You know, some of you are stuck in your apartments, there's no one else around. Say it out loud. It's so powerful. And I realise that I get my own treatment looking at myself doing live while I'm talking to you. Mirror neurons even work for me looking at myself. It's crazy. Whatever works, man. Whatever works, babe. This is our time to choose, to create, to be. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so grateful for me. And I'm so grateful for us. And I have to say this, and then I have to finish. Today in my meditation, for the very first time, because I've been aware that I need to have a vision of the future. I need to have a vision of the future. Because all bets are off, right? The future's gone. Anything we used to think we knew, it's gone. For the moment, it's gone. We don't know. We can't imagine. And I've been aware, you know, what am I going to put my attention on? What's my vision of the future? Today in my meditation, I got the vision of the future. I felt it. I got it. Yes, there's a picture, but I got it. I know what it is now. I felt, I sensed, I was humanity on the other side of this thing. And it was glorious. We're not in the middle of a disaster. We're in the middle of creation. And I know it's scary. And I know people are leaving their bodies. And I'm going to have that discussion today. But I also know that we're co-creating this together. And it's, for all of that, it's amazing. And that's what I choose to focus on and be grateful for. So grateful. This is our time to be our own greatness. So much love to you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.